This is it. This is when I click it. Just pretty soon. Trying to wait for the lag to catch up. Well, according to this, I am live. We are T-minus about 4 minutes until we officially start. So if you're watching this after the fact and you don't want to see meaningless stuff like me sitting here making sure that everything works, then just, fast forward 4 minutes, actually probably about 3.5 minutes from right now. And then you'll see credits and stuff, and we'll start talking about Omega Supreme. Who am I kidding? We're going to get off topic and end up talking about GoBots or coronavirus or Tiger King, and eventually we'll get around to talking about Omega Supreme, because that's the way these things work. But anyway, hello everyone. Thank you for signing on and spending your Friday evening with me. And, I'm getting word from my lovely and talented tech advisor, Monica, and she says that stuff looks good. How does it sound? Like, is the music too loud, too soft? It's good? Up or down at all? Okay. All right. So, just so that you guys know, we've got a bunch of toys, and they're named Omega Supreme, and we're gonna look at them and play with them, and it's gonna be pretty cool. So, I'm not gonna cycle through my cams. I've done that off screen. And that would give stuff away. Don't want to give stuff away. You have to wait 2 more minutes. 2 minutes! 2 minutes. I'm going to make sure that I have another drink. I'll be right back. Important to have my Diet Canada Dry to spill on the table. That hasn't become a tradition yet, and it's probably better if it doesn't become one, but nonetheless, I've got it. And if someone out there works for Canada Dry and you're looking for a spokesperson, all right, we're at 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and go to the... Hi, I'm Clay Carlino, and I do stuff. And one of the things that I do is collect a lot of toys. A lot of toys. And so I wanted to share my toys with all of my friends online and answer questions and maybe talk about some of the things that we all grew up with. And for those people who didn't grow up with this stuff, show you what you were missing. So tonight's live stream is all about Omega Supreme, and we're going to get to it promptly here. But before, I'm gonna tease this out just a little bit, up into the point where I was getting everything set up for this live stream, I was editing my most recent video, which is all about rebuilding emergency brakes on a 2003 Dodge Dakota. And just let me tell you, whoever owned this truck before me, and I don't think it's the guy that I bought it from, I think it's probably who he got the truck from, maybe even a couple people that came before him, but this truck is 17 years old, and I swear the emergency brake has never been touched except for the person who cut off the cable. So I did that repair 2 weeks ago. It has taken me 2 weekends to edit the footage for about a 12-minute video. That's the reality, and that is why live streams are so much cooler. So now we're live. Now this content instantly goes up and I don't have to edit it. It's great. So thank you all for joining me and making this possible. Quentin! Hey, Quentin, good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, also, if you are watching this after the fact, there is a feature in YouTube to enable the chat replay. Turn that on because I am going to continue. Hello, Jason Knight. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. So, and see, that's a good example. As I see messages come in, I will respond to them on camera as much as I can, and it's not going to make sense unless you have the live chat enabled, which I believe that, like, if you're watching on a smartphone, what I've noticed is that if I have it in horizontal, you can't get the feature, which doesn't make sense to me. I would think that it'd just come up as like a little pop-up or something, but my smartphone does not do it. But when I have it when I'm holding the phone vertically, then you can see the feed underneath when the feature is turned on. So, yes, hello, Quentin, Jason, Matt, and Monica. Thank you all for joining me. It really means a lot to me that you guys are logging in, because that's the whole reason why I do it. You know, it is no fun to do a live stream and nobody listens. So we're going to have some fun tonight, and without any further ado, I know the reason that you're all here. It's actually for Monica. But, you know, the other reason why you might be here is for this guy. This is Gen 1 Omega Supreme. This is the original, some might argue the greatest, and this one is actually, this represents several Omega Supremes. Actually, I'm just gonna pull him off the table here. So this is the guy, and my lovely, caring wife got this for me. She had to win 3 different eBay auctions to get enough parts to assemble a complete Omega Supreme. And, oh, was it for Easter? This was an Easter present. Well, then that's timely. We are here on Easter weekend. Omega Supreme is a bunny present. So yeah, here we'll give Omega Supreme some bunny ears. There we go. Easter eminent Omega Supreme. I'm sorry. I feel bad about that. I won't do that again. I might do that again. So, Nora, hey! Thank you for joining me. It's good to see you. So, everybody, Nora's here. As you can see, Omega is not 100% complete. He doesn't have the yellow clips that go on the legs in the front and in the back, but he still holds together just fine without them. Also, we were not able to get all of the track pieces to complete the back. So here, I'll show you what I did, because I'm an industrial designer type guy. Let's just open up the back here. I want to be careful with him because he is pretty old. All right. There we go. Okay, so you open up the back, and then I'm going to take one of these off. So I made these tracks out of styrene. They are chemically welded together with plastic weld, and just a tip. I've actually found that the plastic weld that's made for acrylic it's a little bit more powerful, and so it makes quicker work of welding styrene parts together. There is one for styrene, but I don't like it as much. That's just my personal opinion, but yeah, these are styrene tubes, which you can get tubes online. I think they're called Plastruct or something like that. Was Nora here from Cider Fest? Was it Cider Fest, Nora, that we saw you? I think. I might be wrong, but I think so. Anyway, yeah, there are these plastic tubes that you can get on Amazon. They're called Plastruct. They have all sorts of different shapes and extrusions. And, if you're a model builder, then these things are great. And I'm not endorsed, or I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just telling you the stuff that I find and telling you the stuff that I like. And so, yeah, nobody's paying me to tell you about stuff to buy. At least not yet. But, if somebody wants to, I'm willing. So, anyway, so yeah, I built these, and they're not bad. They're far less detailed than the original ones. You'll notice that they've got a nice almond color. That's actually just almond colored fusion. I believe I used fusion paint on these, and so they turned out really well, and they worked. Boy, I see lots and lots of messages going on. TechRat, hey, thank you for coming back. It's awesome to have you here. Yeah. So, hi again. So yeah, that's what I did in order to have track pieces. And then let's go back over and look at this. So this is Omega. In fact, I'll just hold him. This is his robot mode, and the original Omega Supreme didn't really have a face. He just had a view screen. Faces came in later versions, and certainly for the cartoon, they drew him with a face, but he didn't have a face. And you know what? It was fine. I mean, this guy was awesome without a face. He's got the rocket ship arm, and his arms are very posable for a Gen 1 figure. He's got elbows. This one, when I first got him, he was broken. And I was able to fix things enough to get him to walk a little bit and make the tank roll. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to see him walk tonight. A lot of those repairs were done with super glue, and the glue has gotten brittle, and those pieces that I glued all those years ago, they are no longer glued. So you get to see him in his modes, but we can't make him do anything, which is kind of sad. I am going to fix him up at some point, and when I do, I will put videos about it online, and people can see what I did. So yeah. Oh, he's a Gen 1 Galvatron. Okay, so you're trying to get Gen 1 Galvatron. Galvatron didn't have too many pieces to lose. He had the barrel of the gun, which was orange, and then the part that held the barrel in robot mode, which you couldn't do anything with when he was in gun mode, which was always very annoying. I would leave it clipped onto his arm, which just kind of looked weird. So we got 9 viewers. That's pretty awesome. I once again, I have my glass of apple juice, and so let's have a sip of apple juice to celebrate the that we've got 9 viewers. That's good apple juice. Maybe some of the best damn apple juice I've ever had. So anyway, let's do this. I mean, you guys want to see him transformed, right? I'm assuming that's a right. Oh, Grayscale! Hey, Grayscale! Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. So, Grayscale's here. So, he is what we like to call a parts former. And, you know, it's funny because Omega Supreme gets away with it. So many other Transformers that you have to take pieces off, I look at that and I'm kind of like, but Omega Supreme, that's his whole deal, and because of that, it's kind of awesome. So I'm gonna take some parts off of here. Oh yeah, parts forward. So you know what? Here, let me show you. We just got these in the mail. An auction, still sealed in the package. And do you think that maybe later we'll think about we'll actually open a couple of these up on camera live? These are parts former third-party robot vehicle toys. They are called Roadbots. And this one, I believe, is called Dumpor. Where's his name? Where? Oh, on the back. Lodor. So yes. Okay. This is Lodor, and the other one is called Cementor. And Pixel had one of these when she was growing up, and she loved it, and I'm actually pretty eager to open up this piece of history. And I know what you're thinking. No, don't open it. It must be opened. Don't you understand? Didn't anybody see Toy Story 2? Okay, when toys don't get played with, they go crazy and they try to kill you. Did that happen in Toy Story 2? There was sort of. So, you are welcome, Grayscale. I'm happy to be doing this. Thank you for showing up. You know, I've been doing videos on YouTube for a few years now, and it's because I'm a nerd and I like to show the stuff that I'm doing, and some of the stuff is helpful. At least I like to think that it's helpful. But you know, it's really all about the people watching. If you're not watching, then all I'm doing is kind of wasting my time. So thank you. Seriously, you guys have plenty of better things to do than watch me yammer online. And so I really do appreciate that each and every one of you are here. You are all awesome, and I kind of wish I could see your faces, but you know, give it a few years. At some point, I will be able to see your faces while I'm doing this stuff. So anyway, maybe later we'll break into these. So we got Omega, and of course you take off the arms. That's the top half of the rocket and the bottom half of the rocket, and then of course the two halves just go together like that, and they can actually go together either way. You know, this kind of has this detail here that runs up the side, and so if you want those details to line up with each other, then you put them together like that, or you could have them so that it's more of a radial pattern with the detail here and then there, you know, like that. And of course you spread out, and really these things you can do what you want, you know, like for landing, wider is better, but that doesn't look as streamlined, so I usually click them in. There is a little bit of a click there so that it holds its position, and then and somehow through mass what's the word, they have, IDW Comics had a word for that. It was mass displacement. This would be big enough for Optimus Prime to get inside, because, you know, scale was all over the place with Transformers, and I'm okay with mass displacement, because how else does Megatron become a handgun? Mass shifting. Oh, okay, mass shifting or mass displacement. So, anyway, so you have the rocket right there, and then, okay, this is where things get complicated. Well, actually, not this part. I'm just going to get the arms up out of the way, and yeah, let's just get those out of the way here. And okay, here comes where things get funny. Taking the legs apart. So you have this panel here, and then it mates with this panel here, and you see it actually attaches to the body inside near the crotch. And so then you have the inner leg. So this is what gave it its walking feature. Okay, this would move up and down, and then the rest of the leg would stay stationary, and that enabled him to kind of inch himself along. Very cool, though. I mean, you know, the engineering behind these toys is just fantastic. So, oh, Jonah! Jonah, yes, you have a comment. Yeah, going by my experience at Claw Crane Games, I'm starting to think Omega Supreme has never actually managed to pick up anything with that hand. You're indeed wise, Jonah. A very astute observation. Oh yeah, wait until you see Energon. And by the way, for those people who don't know, we're going to be looking at Energon Omega Supreme as well. So, now you have to take off the foot next, because the foot helps to hold the inner leg together. So you take off the foot, and then you take these pieces off. They just attach to each other around the tread of the tank. And here. So that comes off, and that comes off. And then now you have the tread. And you see, mine does this. You can see that broken piece right there. So, yeah, he's going to need a lot of love, which is very, very sad. I was a little heartbroken when I pulled him out of his storage, and he looked like that. But, nonetheless, same thing on the other side. So we pull off the outside leg, and there's a pile of parts in front of my computer now. You hear that? That is a lot of plastic. And then that comes off, and then this comes apart, and being very careful to try not to break any more of this 40-year-old plastic. And then the backpack comes off, see, just like that. And then the arms, now this is actually pretty easy. The treads slide up like this, just up into the tank. The chest slides down, see, that does that. So, and then this goes up, and the rest of the tank turret just closes up against it. So we have that, and then we can rotate that around. And then with his arms, that's pretty straightforward. You're just going to rotate them around and move them up like that. And we now have the tank portion. So, you know, that's 2 out of 3 parts. We've got the tank, which this tank looks awesome. I love this tank. And we have the rocket. And do I even have batteries? Yeah, okay, so look at that. Yeah, the light still works. Okay, believe it or not, that's not actually something that's designed into it so that it'll stop and then go. It looks awesome, but that's actually the gear slipping. Sorry. It's a very old, beloved toy. It needs some care. I really wish they'd reissue this toy. I mean, is anybody else with me? Hope! Hope, you're here! Sisters Kitties is here! Everybody say hi to Hope! Hope is the most popular person in this live stream right now. I wish I could put a camera on her, because I know that all of you, and I don't feel bad. If you say you love Hope best, I won't feel bad, because I love Hope best too. So, hi Hope! Don't know a damn thing about Transformers. Well, if you stay on this live stream, you will know more about Transformers. So, anyway, yeah, I really wish that they'd reissue this, and you know, let's, as the internet as a whole, let us band together and raise our voices aloft and demand a reissue of Omega Supreme for a reasonable price. Yeah, that's an important one, because, you know, that whole $50 for this much of Prime, that's butts. That's you. That's on you, Walmart. I'm looking at you. You don't have to call, okay? Just so that you know, you are off my list. Although I still will stop in from time to time to see what toys that you have, because there's no more Toys R Us. You know, let's just all take a moment, raise our apple juice glasses, maybe it's apple cider, and drink one for Toys R Us. Yeah. I love you too, Hope. So, the tank, and my tank, unfortunately, this used to have little rubber O-rings on the wheels that would give it enough traction to go around the track, and my O-rings deteriorated. Now, fortunately, I've got an assortment pack of O-rings, so when I open this up, it's getting brand new shiny O-rings, and it should be able to at least go around the track. I don't know if it's ever going to walk again. We're going to try, but I also have to take care of that whole slipping thing. So, yeah. So, we've still got a whole bunch of parts, and let me just kind of move these parts over to my little table so that you can see the mass of pieces, because it's really, it really doesn't do it justice to just hear the plastic sounds. Just, let's aim this. There we go. Yeah, look at that. That is our pile of Omega Supreme. And we're just going to move the tank and the rocket out of the way, and we're going to start putting these things together here. So, these parts do not go together. So you have to find the part that it mates with, which is not that one. So here you go. So you put that together, and then if you had some of those yellow pieces, then I think that they would probably help you kind of make these stay. But for now, this is fine. And then we can also take one of these, and this one goes on this side. So these are those inner leg pieces. And this one goes right here, just like that. So we've got this piece of track, just like that. And that makes the second piece of track easier, because you know that these are going to go together. There we go. And then this goes in here, and it just clicks in. And then there's that. And so these things get placed kind of far away from each other. I'm gonna take this out of the way for a moment. I wonder if my little table's gonna be big enough to do this. Yeah, it should be big enough. So okay, and you see how these have this little feature here that just clips underneath the ends here, so it's going to do a little thing like this, just fitting right down over top of that, and then right down over top of that, and that is the tank track right there. I'll move it back as far as I can so you can see as much of it as is possible. Optimus Prime, you guard the mouse. And then the feet actually just go right here, and they click onto that. They don't even click; they just kind of fit. And then like that, and then that is the rocket base. And if I had the yellow pieces, I think they would make like little ramps and things that could go down. And then you'd have the rocket here like that. And then if my tank had O-rings, then it would be able to drive around the track like this, and it would fire its guns. And wait, here we'll do this. There we go. It sort of wants to go. Oh! It's sort of going. It's sort of going. It can't quite make it up the hills. Oh, there we go. Whoa, whoa. There we go. And okay, is that awesome or is that awesome? And it doesn't even work right. But that is just, I wish I would have had him when I was a kid, but I am so glad that I've got him now. Okay, you know what? Screw fixing the truck. I need to be working on Omega Supreme. And I think that we all can agree about that, right? Let's see. Oh, the old rotary phone and tech in the background. Oh, okay. So, yes. You said there's some questions about the stuff that we have in our background. So when we go to the thrift stores, yes, we go to the thrift stores because you can get awesome stuff at thrift stores. And every now and then we see some old stuff, and we can't help but want to get it. So yeah, this is. Actually, this we did get at an antique store. It's a little bit dusty. See, I'm doing some quick dusting. Just talk amongst yourselves. Nothing to see here. There. But yes, when I was growing up, my grandma had a phone almost exactly like this in her. This was her phone, and it's got a metal dial. And listen to the sound of that. I mean, this thing, it was so solid, and you could kill somebody with this phone. I mean, this is a heavy phone. I would guess that this thing is probably about 3 or 4 pounds. You know, this is a bludgeoning weapon. Okay, this is why crimes didn't happen in the 50s, because if you went into somebody's house uninvited, it didn't matter that the door was unlocked. They would beat you to death with their phone, and they could. So yeah, this is a telephone, and there is a purpose for all of this stuff. Okay, it's not just because we're suckers for buying old stuff. But what I'd like to do is, at some point when I have a little bit of spare time. Oh gosh, spare time. That's a concept that never ceases to make me laugh. But anyway, in that fictitious universe where I have spare time, I want to build an in-home phone network so that maybe run it off of an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or something like that, so that we'll have phones around the house, and when you pick them up there's a dial tone. And if I get really, really clever, I'd love to make it so that if you dial something, you can actually dial the room that you want and the phone will ring. And I think that it's possible. I don't know exactly how to do it right now, but I feel like it's probably not that hard. So, yeah. Oh, okay, so you had a tan-colored one. Yeah, my grandma's was black, just like this, and she probably got it back when that was the only color that they came in. Those tan ones, those were the new ones. Okay. Not the, we also have this. Okay, back here, I'm not going to pull it out because it weighs a ton. This is a typewriter. The thing, it has to weigh 30 to 40 pounds. It is steel. A lot of stamped steel, some cast steel. I think that the letters might actually be made out of lead. But yeah, and actually when I got, that was my other grandma's, and I loved it. I don't know why. I just thought it was the coolest thing. When we would visit her house, it was upstairs under a vinyl cover because she kept everything, and everything she had was in the condition that it was when it was new. And so and I would go up there and I would play with it, and it still types. Just so you know, it still types. It works. And then when I was in college and I didn't have a modern computer to do my resume, I decided, all right, well then I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to type my resume on this old typewriter, and then I did up my resume to look like a government report and like it was some kind of secret file, and when I would leave it with people, it came in a manila folder that had top secret stenciled in the front, and I thought it was cool. I don't think I got any. I think I got a job at Kinko's doing that, but anyway, yeah, that was fun. So okay, yeah, 1985. That's brand new! Oh my gosh! 1985? Omega Supreme here is... okay, he's probably from 1985. But might be from 1984. And also, we have a tape recorder. And it has a separate eject button. And the stop. And... I haven't actually tested to see if this works. I need to get a tape to try out, but it's in beautiful shape, and it's got a built-in radio and a mic. I've brought many Decepticons into our home. I mean, let's be honest. And yes, this could be a Decepticon. If so, he's been, he hasn't caused us any problems so far. So I'm just going to say, Decepticons welcome. Yeah, Decepticons welcome. But in fact, wait here, let me just show you this. This is Ravage, and it does have a Decepticon logo, so that means that unless they were really skirting... wait a minute here, we need to go to the super close cam. Super close cam engaged. Okay, so you see Ravage actually has a licensed Decepticon logo. I got this thing, how long ago, sweetie? What, about 10 years ago? 15 years ago? He was not cheap, but a 16 gigabytes at the time that I got him was insane. So, yeah, he is a flash drive, and he's a great transformer, too. He's very posable, and, you can see the jaw opens and closes. So, you know, he looks great, and I'll show you. So on this, you flip that around, and then go like that, and then you have the legs that go like this, and they fold up, the hips fold up, and we gotta swing the front legs around, and then do that to the side, and get both hips so that those are like that, and then you fold these down like that, and then you close the tail over top of it. And so he does that, and then there's a little switch in the back, and boom, he is a 16 gigabyte working flash drive. That's awesome. So yes, I have Decepticons in my home. Oh, renting phones. Yes, you rented phones. Let's see. Wait, here. Matt White. So it's very likely that someone could have had a similar phone. They just made them cheaper products over the years. I think AT&T used to require that people had to. Oh, so Matt White was just commenting that AT&T used to require that people rent phones, and they didn't really change the phone that much over the years. And probably the biggest change was when they added touch buttons. But you are right. I remember when our phone, we did not own it, we rented it. And actually, when I was in 9th grade, there was a fire in my house. And the phone, which was not our phone, it was so hot in the kitchen where the phone was that the faceplate melted and curled up around the buttons. Now, here's the kicker. Just for shits and giggles, we plugged that phone in, and the son of a bitch still worked. Yeah, and I remember there used to be this AT&T commercial that, you know, this was after people started buying their own phones, and they had this commercial that went, second class phones, they're making second class phones with no tones, and something, and it would show people, like, you know, getting mad on their phone and slamming it over and over again, and throwing the phone on the floor and jumping up and down on it, and you know, and it was a truth in advertising, because I remember there were many times when my dad would be talking to his ex-wife on the phone, and it never ever ended with him smiling. He would slam the phone and he would scream, and one time he literally did throw the phone on the floor and dance on it. Let's see. I can't even joke about that name. It's almost certainly what the GoBot version would have been called. Wait. My tech advisor has linked us to a video, and so let's go ahead and we're going to try our internet view. And it opened in the chat window. That. What? I don't even know how to get back from that. I just lost my chat window. Okay, wait, here. I'm going to restore chat. And then I'm going to... Let's make that. And then we'll click on that. No, I didn't want to go off of my dashboard. I hope I'm still streaming. This is... We're still working out the bugs of, like, following links. Oh, it's welcoming me to the chat. So, let's do this. Let's try... Really? There's no copy? Okay, wait here. Let's... I'm going to try it this way. There we go. Okay. Copying the link. And... What? Well, I'm still seeing a feedback on mine. Okay. Okay, we are. This is dangerous territory. You got it? You got it. Okay, we're good. We're good. I thought that we lost the live stream when I started playing with the internet. We will get this down, but we're not there yet. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go to this video. Control A and Control V, and video unavailable. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We tried to show the video. It did not work. We'll get it. I promise we will get it. We're not there yet. So anyway, we were talking about Omega Supreme, and we got to see the Gen 1 version in all of its glory, with the tank going around, and it really was just a fantastic toy. One thing that is noted is that Omega Supreme was not made by Takara. Omega Supreme was designed by another company, similar to other toys like Shockwave. I think that Roadbuster and Whirl were also made by a different company. Jetfire, obviously, was not designed by Takara. So yeah, back then, Hasbro was licensing just about every transforming robot toy that they could that wasn't Machine Robo, because Machine Robo is what became GoBots. So yeah, that was Omega Supreme, and I once again, if you're out there, whoever has the rights to this mold, or if you're listening, Hasbro, reissue, please. Okay. The 40-year-old plastic is starting to not hold its integrity anymore. We want new stuff. So reissue, please. I'll probably pay. What do you think? Like 120? Would we pay 120? I'll pay 120 for a reissue Omega Supreme. I'm not sure. Yeah, you're right, Tech Rat. Jetfire was also one. So let's move ahead in history. I'm gonna move Gen 1 Omega Supreme out of the way for the time being. We'll pretend that all the other parts loaded themselves inside the rocket, because that happened on the cartoon all the time. And actually, on the cartoon, you didn't see the other parts load themselves inside the rocket. The rocket would take off on the show, land on another planet where the rest of the base was waiting for him. I'm just gonna say that whatever kind of techno babble that you come up with to explain that, I feel like it's a better means of transportation than loading yourselves inside an oversized fellow Autobots rocket mode. Tech Rat, to answer the question, if I had the engineering, I could rapid prototype some new parts. But here's the thing with rapid prototyping. The parts, at least for fused deposition modeling, and okay, we're talking about 3D modeling again. And so this is where I put on my industrial design hat, which looks sort of like this hat except backwards. We just took away all my other hats. So what were we thinking? I need my Russian hat. So yeah, let me put on my industrial design. For those of you who don't know, my profession is industrial designer. That's what I went to school for. That's what I've got my bachelor's in. And so my background is product design, and in my industry, we have been using rapid prototyping technology for years and years and years. Oh, okay, thank you. So this is my design hat. Yeah, there we go. And so as an industrial designer, let's talk a little bit about the technology of rapid prototyping. I don't even know if people can hear me in that thing. So with fused deposition modeling, that's where you have a 3-axis gantry, and then it's going to heat up a plastic filament and drive it through an extruder, and then it's going to build your parts. It's a process called additive manufacturing. And you know, you can do all sorts of things with that, but here's the catch. Those parts aren't that strong. The layer-to-layer bonding, it's okay, and it's great for models, but it's nowhere near as strong as injection molded parts, where you have a mold that is milled out of metal, and then you have plastic pellets that have been driven through a sprue under heat and pressure and forced to become a liquid and injected into a mold, and then they're cooled, and that process happens hundreds of times a minute for each part, and the parts are extremely precise, and especially with today's plastics, extremely strong. And that's why you can give these parts to a 5-year-old and they can take their toys and bang them off of the table, and the parts don't always break. You know, in fact, a lot of times they've been engineered with joints that just pop apart rather than breaking the toy. You're never going to get that strength out of conventional desktop 3D printing or even the industrial machines. You know, we had some machines that were $20,000 machines, and even those parts were very delicate. You know, you could handle them, but you couldn't put them through the stress of having them serve as joints and things like that. We did, however, come up with some tricks to help make them a little bit stronger. For one thing, if you take these parts, and particularly with like ABS parts, we would sometimes take these parts and put them on a little riser, like a wooden block, in a crock pot with just a little bit of plastic weld in the crock pot, and turn it on to keep warm, and then put the lid on it. And what it would do is it would vaporize that plastic weld, and that plastic weld vapor would get into the seams in between the plastic and soften it and cause it to gloss over. You know, most 3D printed parts, you see those little ribs because of the layers. Well, it would smooth that down, and it would also make the parts stronger. But you have to be careful with that, because you leave it in too long, or you lose too much, or you use too much, and then you just end up with a goopy part that never hardens all the way, and it starts to deform. So there's a really delicate balance with stuff like that. So so 3D printing, you know, it'll get there, but it's not there yet. So onward and upward. Let's talk about, it was many years until Energon finally made a new Omega Supreme. 2004. So 1985 to 2004. That's I'm doing math in my head. That's 9 years? No, that's 19 years before we would see. Well, there was, I am going to say that in the waning days of Gen 1, I believe that it was planned, however, I don't know if it ever actually got manufactured, for there to be an Action Master Omega Supreme, except they changed his name to Omega Spreem. S-P-R-E-E-M. Are you going to try and send me a link? Okay, we're going to try this again, and maybe since we're not going to a video, this is going to work better. So, let's see. Try middle button click to open in new tab. Okay, so we're going to get a link here, and we're going to show you Omega Spreem in any moment now. Oh, did you send it? Because I don't... Let's see. There was... Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's the YouTube link. I think that my live chat got screwed up, which is unfortunate. So let me try this. I'm going to try popping out the chat. I'm sorry for the technical stuff. Oh, there. Okay. We are up and running again. Let's do that. And we'll put that over here. And then we will go here and we will go to our internet cam and Omega Spreem. There it is. It is, I guess, a planned Action Master, which the whole thing with Action Masters was that they didn't transform, except it looks like they were making Action Masters that sort of did transform. Yeah. I'm not even seeing a robot mode, at least not in this article. But yes, Omega Spreem was planned in the latter days of Gen 1, and so other than that, 19 years before we got reintroduced to Omega Supreme, and let me show you what we got. Dom, 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 da-dom, bum, 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 bum. So this from Energon. Now let's talk about the obvious first. Very different take, very different color scheme. You know, he's big, but you know, he's got the blue on one half and the yellow on the other half. So I'm not sure that he was super well received by the fans because he was such a OBS Studio disconnected. It's reconnecting. I'm hoping that we're still streaming. We'll see what happens. I'm going to continue as though everything's fine until I know otherwise. So, yeah, I'm not sure that he was super well received by the fans. But, and also, this version is slightly different. He originally had this little tiny red paddle claw. It was like rounded. It looked like a duck bill. And I don't understand why, but I hated it. So I made these claws so that he could, you know, pick up guys and do stuff. So we're good? Okay, we're still good. So I'm just going to go ahead. He also, so yeah, very different take on Omega Supreme. But let me tell you, I love this guy. Does he scratch my Omega Supreme itch? Not quite. You know, it doesn't quite say, oh, you know, I did, you know, when I got him, I didn't have the original, and so this was my first Omega Supreme, and I was glad to have him. But it wasn't like I felt like, okay, well, now that I've got him, I don't need the original. But nonetheless, they put a crap ton of really cool features in this. He has a gun on here that makes noises when you press the button, and I'm sorry, but I was getting him ready for the thing today, and my batteries leaked inside, so we're not going to get noises right now. But he's got guns that have little dials, and when you move them, the guns like rotate around and point different directions. And he's got these guns here, and they rotate in tandem. And then there's also this claw feature, which, despite the fact that they really phoned in the end of the claw, which I fixed, but it's got this feature. Look at that! Is that cool or what? That's just a little thing on the side. Oh, that's awesome. And in addition to that, he's also got these little port thingies on the sides of his legs and on his shoulders. And these are for another feature that should have been more cool than it was. They fit in with the drones that came with Energon Optimus Prime. And Energon Optimus Prime was a disappointment. Yeah, he just terrible design. And we're going to talk about Energon Optimus Prime in another live stream. I will pull out my Energon Optimus Prime and show you everything that I did to try to make him cool. But he was not cool. There was nothing cool about Energon Optimus Prime. And unfortunately, the drones really weren't cool either. So attaching them to Omega Supreme in awkward ways really didn't improve Omega Supreme. So, kudos to them for trying, but and also you could take the original Prime and put him inside here, and then his head stuck out the top, and that was that really, I mean, if I'm going to combine toys, then I want to see the features of the combined toys. Okay, I don't want Prime's head sticking out of Omega Supreme's body. That's lame. I want to see like Prime's body making up the center, and I want to see Omega Supreme be substantially improved in stature and in body dynamics by this combination. And that was one thing that just really failed. So we'll leave that alone. You have the head, which comes off. This guy is both a parts former and a transformer, in that he does come apart, but he also, the parts transform. So yes, he is a headmaster. The head comes off and turns into this guy, and I think that this requires a super close cam. Super close cam. Look at that. Okay, so this sort of reminds me of Omega Supreme. I don't know if it's a callback to that, since I don't even know if that managed to get manufactured. But, this is him. They made it so that it did transform completely. The head is covered by this visor here. It's really posable. He's got articulation. So, he's got nice detail, nice colors. It doesn't evoke Omega Supremeness, but it's a great little toy in its own right. And so that's really cool. So, back to the better cam. So yeah, we have our little headmaster guy. And of course, the biggest problem with headmasters is the potential to lose the head. Well, let me show you what they did with Omega here. I'm gonna go back to the super close. So, here we go. So this is the little socket. This is the little socket that oh wait, oh that's the sorry, wrong setting. There we go. Okay, so there we go. That's the socket that the head plugs into. Pull that up and he has a head. Look at that! Omega Supreme has a head, even if you lose the head. Isn't that great? That is somebody really thinking about the design of this guy. I mean, that's fantastic. I wish that more guys had a feature like that. So if I end up losing this guy, I don't just have a headless robot. That's great. So whoever you are out there that came up with that, I tip my hat to you, sir. So, oh, we're up to 14 viewers. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that we've got more people here. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to drink some apple juice in your honor. No. So TechRat was just asking if there is a power readout. The original Headmasters had this this gimmick built in. It was kind of cool, where there built into the heads there was this little piece of plastic with grooves, or with little tabs of different lengths, and then when they would plug into the Headmaster body, it would make this tech readout scroll up, and so depending on which heads you put on the body, the tech readout would change. Really, really cool little thing. It didn't really add a lot of play value, but it was a cool thing. It was completely unused in any of the fiction. You know, you didn't see it in the cartoon, you didn't see it in the comic book. I don't know if you ever saw it in any of the Japanese stuff, because I didn't follow the Japanese stuff, but I know that none of the American media demonstrated the power readout, and I feel like that's a little bit of a lost opportunity. But then again, they had a billion toys that they were trying to introduce and get kids familiar with, and that was one of the things that actually kind of watered down the Transformers line, is that they couldn't keep up with their own marketing. You know, they were introducing so many new characters and new toys every single wave that it was very hard to get all of those toys featured in the TV shows and in the comic books and things like that. So, by the way, this is delicious apple juice. This is honey apple juice. And, and it makes these live streams even more fun than they already are. I may have to get some more apple juice, because that's good apple juice. So, yeah, we've got the Headmaster feature, and then let me show you what he does here. You just... it takes some effort here. There we go. He splits right down the middle. I have never seen this used in any other Transformers toy, where it just splits right down the middle and the two halves turn into stuff. So let's start with this half. This is a pretty cool half. For one thing, they have, so you do this and you put this down, and then you fold that under, and then you do this, and then you can extend the thing. And so this is like a crane pulled by like a train engine, except that it seems to be on wheels, so it wouldn't require... I get trains are on wheels too, but they're like normal tired wheels. Not that they don't want to do work anymore. They're not that kind of tired. They're tired in the sense that they have tires. Well, these are just plastic molded to look like they have tires. But nonetheless, you know what I'm talking about. Dawn. Don's not watching this live stream, but I can hear him in my head adding snarky comments, and he'd be like, "Oh, so you mean that they're exhausted?" It's like, no. Well, you know, trains have wheels. That's what Don would be saying right now if he were on this live stream. Don, why aren't you watching my live stream? He's probably playing EverQuest. I'm not going to criticize him for that because, you know, I'm talking to YouTube right now. So you know, it still has the benefit of this joint. So when it's rolling around, and let's just go over to the other camera so that we can show them on the table. Oh, not with the macro lens. So you know, you can kind of have him go around like this, and you know, that's a cool thing. And so you have this part that opens up, and then you can have your little, let's just say that this is Omega Supreme. Let's just go ahead and own that. And this guy goes in there, I think, somehow. And yeah, so now you've got your crane operator, and you got your crane, and it can do stuff. And now, because I added my own claw, it can actually pick up Leader 1, and Leader 1's like, "Hey, put me down, I'm a GoBot!" And he's like, affiliation irrelevant, Omega Supreme. I don't know, I told you I would do that again. So, yeah, this is a cool toy. And oh, also, it had these. So this is cool. It has these little like repair arms or something. Let's go ahead and go to the super close. And oh wait, did that not go correctly? There we go. And here, we'll take a look. So yeah, a lot of articulation in these little things. Just even though they're tiny parts, and there's 3 of them, so they didn't cheap out on this guy. You know, they put in a lot of neat features like that. It rotates around like this. So yeah, so you know, he's got a lot of playability. But one thing that always bothered me was that, okay, you've got this engine car thing here, and you've got the crane thing here, but I really felt like they should be able to detach, and they don't. So what I did with mine was I added this joint. This is here, we'll go back to super close. Super close is getting fussy. So I added this joint here. With the head, he's Omega Supreme. With Prime, he's Optimus Supreme. Oh, okay. So, okay. Apparently, without the headmaster, he's called Omega Grand. I did not know that. Is that from one of the comments, or is that from what? Oh, from the wiki article. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't on the package. Nonetheless, I added this. This is actually from a Mega Bloks construction set, but it allows the joint to snap in, and you know, it just snaps in like this, and then I can still rotate, and it's pretty strong, so his leg doesn't fall off. So going back to our regular cam, you know, I made it so that this could detach because, you know, I thought I want this thing to be able to go out and, you know, go on, you know, do what it needs to do. And it seems like it would be a pretty fast thing when it's not carrying a crane behind it. And this thing, you know, this, well, here, we'll just aim this up here. So, and you know, this is fine on its own. It's really a cool thing. It's very playable. It's got the joint here and the joint there, and it's, you know, of course, got this feature. So this is a really cool thing. I really like it. And and I was really happy with it once I was able to split these parts up, because he's Omega Supreme. He's supposed to break into pieces. That's his shtick. So yeah, I just kind of built on the shtick. Now let's look at the other half here. So this one, let's put this way, and then we have that go that way, and this go up like that, and then this does some stuff right here. I remember how to transform my toys. Oh, okay. So, okay. So, there we go. And then that closes up right around there. And then this, his foot comes around here. And this points this way. And that locks into there. And then we've got so it makes this battleship, which, I mean, let's face it, that's really cool. This is an awesome battleship, and you really don't see a lot of battleship transformers. So it kind of look, yeah, it looks very much like a space cruiser also. And maybe that was more the intent. You know, I think that maybe this thing can go down like that. And once again, they made it so that you can take the little guy and put him in here. This is like a chair. And you can even rotate this around so that he's facing the front. So yeah, you know, a lot of love was put into this, and look at the way that they made it so that these guns work in tandem. Just fantastic engineering, a lot of care to the design, and a lot of play value. This is a cool thing. Let me show you one other thing that it did, and then we will move on. You could also take this and put this like this, and then and I believe that it was, oh, so I think there was something like this. Yes, it does have good clicky sounds, which is important. I'm in favor of clicky sounds, as evidenced by my keyboard. So it makes this gun, I think that it goes around this way, and I'll show that on the other camera. So, I'm not going to show that on the other camera because it doesn't fit on the other camera. So, yeah, I don't think I have this part quite right. I feel like I'm missing something. But, well, whatever it is, you know, oh, okay, so it does, okay, I got it. Thank you, my lovely and talented technical assistant. So it's like this, and then you can have it like that, and let's see if I can fit that in the frame in the other camera. So it's, yeah, let's look at that. So yeah, you got this gun. It even has handles on the back, and you know, you can point it up towards the sky and shoot oncoming Decepticons with it. So once again, just a million different things that you could do with this version of Omega Supreme, and I'm willing to forgive the color scheme because it's an awesome toy. It was big. it was so wonderfully big, and you know, when you transformed him into robot mode, he was intimidating in comparison to your other toys. So let's move on here to what year was this next one? We know it was Year of the Snake. Okay. And here it is. This is Year of the Snake Omega Supreme. This was a retool of Energon Omega Supreme, and it came out, I think, like about 4 years later, maybe, probably 2008-ish. We're gonna get confirmation on that, but yeah. So done up in original Gen 1 colors, new sculpt on the head, new sculpt on the crane arm. They took out some of the features. No longer has the sound box, no longer has lights, no longer has the extending feature that the other one had, that had that reachy thing, but they made him look much more Gen 1-y. And he's gorgeous. Now, I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to transform him because, honestly, it's really the same as the other one, except with fewer features. Oh, 2013. Okay, so probably around 2013. I think that the wiki article probably says, but, you know. But, you know, this is for those people who couldn't get the original and always wanted it. And then this came out, and it's like, oh, this is nice. One thing that I did not show, so I'll show it with this one, is that the two halves do have a combined vehicle mode, and it's pretty cool that they did this. It is kind of a space train thing, you know, like a spaceship train, and really what you're doing is you're taking the two vehicle modes and you're just plugging the front of this into the butt of the ship. But look at that, I can't even fit it all on here. Wait, I'm gonna try and move back. So look at this. This is amazing. And the other one did this too. Okay, you got your space train, and what I like to do is kind of, you know, when I would transform mine, I would transform it like this. Whoa! Shut up, internet! I didn't just drop my beautiful transformer. Okay, so there we go. So what I would do is I would have it kind of bend at the joints so that it was sort of like, you know, it's flying its way, you know, it's snaking its way through space, and, you know, it's kind of moving around as it flies and stuff. You know, that was... Oh, okay, yeah. Let me show you the box that this guy... This is one where I saved the box. I used to save all my boxes, and then I had a crap ton of boxes, so I got rid of most of my boxes. But this is the box that it came in, and it is gorgeous. I'm trying to fit it as... You know, the box art is beautiful. It's got shiny, reflective gold leaf, you know, well, yeah, not real gold, but yeah. So this is Year of the Snake Omega Supreme, and Monica got this for me as well. She loves me. I don't deserve her, but she loves me anyway. And I know plenty of you other guys know what this is like, where deep down you know that you don't deserve the girls that you're with, but you're so thankful that they haven't figured that out yet. So, beautiful, beautiful Year of the Snake. Shame there was no animated. You know what? You're so right. Matt was just saying how it's a shame that there was no animated Omega Supreme, and I wholeheartedly agree. When I saw Omega Supreme in Transformers Animated, I was like, oh, want it, and they never came out with it. I wanted it so bad. Should I try and show it on the screen? Send me a link. I'll let's see. Yeah. I agree with you so much, Matt. And let's see. We're trying to get a link to show the original Omega Supreme. I guess I could, or the animated. I could probably do the search. Transformers animated Omega Supreme, and then we'll hit enter on that, and we'll go to internet, and we'll just look at some of the images here. This is Transformers animated Omega Supreme. He turned into their spaceship. I think that it was also called the Ark in the spaceship, or in the show. You know, such a cool thing. So, yeah, I saw that and I wanted it. You're right. You're right. The box art on Year of the Snake shows the Energon arm, not the remodeled arm. Good eye, Matt. I never noticed that. I've had this box for years and I never noticed that it had the wrong arm. Kudos to 20 points to Matt. So that is that's Omega Supreme. And then before we get to the one that I know that you're all waiting for, I'm going to show you a little special one. But we're going to have to go to the super close cam for this. So super close, and bam. This is a tiny Omega Supreme from a third-party company. It actually came with some other figures, but this is the one that's important. Okay, right here. He is cute, he is posable, and he is so tiny. Look, he's little itty bitty, little Omega Supreme. He also came with this guy. I don't know who this is. I don't remember him from the show, but he's also fully posable, and it came with some extra bits so that if you wanted to change the color of the arms and feet, you had extra arms and feet bits. And it came with this, which is quite obviously part of another Omega Supreme toy, because it transforms. You know, it actually has transforming bits in it. This is, so it's on Big Bad Toy Store. If you look for Mini Sentry, let me see if I can pull that up, and Big Bad Toys Mini Sentry, and here we go. And there we go. So let's just go to the internet and we'll show you. Yeah, this is him. He's very cool, and he does transform, as you can see. And then he comes with, you know, the extra guy for reasons, and I don't know how that fits into the system, but yeah. So this does transform into a piece of Omega Supreme, but I I don't have the rest of him. It didn't come with the rest. So that's a little bit of an enigma. And this guy also does come apart and turn into stuff, which is important. We just twist that around there, and then we do that, and then we take off his wing pieces, which just fold out like this. There we go. And is that from you, or is that somebody else? Oh, Tech Rat. Yeah, poor Metroplex is getting no love, but you know what? Metroplex will see his time in the spotlight in a future live stream. I promise you, and I promise you, Metroplex, because I love you. I love you, Metroplex, and you deserve a moment to shine. But right now, it's Omega Supreme's turn. Everybody gets a turn. I've got a lot of toys, and there's a lot of internet out there. There's a lot more Fridays and Saturdays, so yeah, we just take these things and we attach them together, and then we do this, and that makes the track, and then you can pull the arms off. And put the two arms together, and it makes a little tiny rocket. Look, there's a little tiny rocket right there. And you put that right down there. And then the way that this thing came, the instructions actually have several different ways to do the base mode. I'm just going to show you probably the most basic of the base modes. The base squared, except that it doesn't turn into a square. And see, it turns into that, and then so we've got this. Okay, we got these. Now this guy didn't have a tank. It wasn't made with a tank. So what I did, because I can't leave well enough alone, is maybe this is something for the super close. So it was made to open, and so I very meticulously cut out this turret section, and then I took a tank out of Monica's Risk. It was an extra, and I cut off the turret on that and drilled it out, and then I took the turret off of this, which just lifts off here, and then I added that little peg, and so now he's got, and you see I had to shorten the tank. You can kind of see the line where I cut it, but now there is a little tank, and then I also grooved out the bottom so that he would be able to go on the track and ride along the track just like that. And then we've got the rocket, which is right there. Yeah, let's try and get that in focus. So we got the rocket, and we got the little base right there, and we've got the tank right there. So that is Tiny Sentry, and he is awesome. I am so glad that I have him, even though he's very, very tiny. Mazinifer, is that how you say that? Mazinifer, hey, hello, thank you for logging in, Mazinifer. Mazenfur, good to see you. Thank you for logging in. Oh wait, I'm talking into the camera and it's not on. Mrs. Mazenfur, thank you for logging in. It's good to see you. I was just showing tiny Omega Supreme, which he's awesome, and now I really want to get the rest of this. I need to figure out how to get the rest of this. I don't know where to get it, but it kind of has to happen, because you can't have part of an Omega Supreme. You need all of Omega Supreme. So now I know what you want to see. I know what I wanted to see. It's time for Transformers Siege Titan class Omega Supreme. Look at this. He is enormous. Yes, Metroplex, you're bigger. Metroplex is a little bit jelly right now because Omega's getting all the attention. But yeah, if you go toe to head, then Metroplex is bigger than Omega Supreme. He gets more height from the wings. I tend not to want to count that because, you know, it's not like you look at a guy's wings and say, oh, you've got those. Well, I'm intimidated now. And really, as if he needs it. He's huge. And actually what I like about the slightly lower stature is that he's more on par with here, Titan class Devastator. So these two guys can actually, you know, they can fight, and it actually kind of works. You know, one of the problems with Titan class Devastator was that he was so big compared to the other combiners that there was nobody that he could duke it out with. It just, you know, I mean, he towered over everyone else. And so I was really glad. Now I'm going to put these guys on the table, and I'm going to turn on the other camera. But you're not gonna see anything. Let's try and do this without knocking anybody over. It's not a very big table. Oh gosh, this is dangerous. Okay, we got it. And we'll go back to camera. Yeah, we can get their crotches. Okay, wait here. Well, look at that. Look at these guys. I mean, they're enormous. They are so huge. So yeah, I'm gonna have to show you, just do this by hand. Oh boy. So of course, as with the other Siege Line Transformers, you do have the bloosh parts. So, you know, he can bloosh, and he can, and I just, you know, I sort of like having them on his shoulders, almost like he runs off of a Hellcat V8 engine, and you know they've rigged him up to have the exhaust spew out of his shoulders and be on fire. So yeah, I like that. I actually like the effects parts. You know, the only thing I don't like about effects parts is I know that I'm gonna lose them. Because, you know, there's the only thing that you can do is have them blooshing all the time. And, you know, sometimes when you don't want to bloosh, then, you know, what do you do with your effects part? But, so, yeah. Mild criticism. So, the deco on all of the Siege characters is kind of a chipped paint look. You know, they put on all of that silver stuff as though their paint got scuffed and you could see the bare metal from underneath. And I actually really like that effect, and especially on a character like Omega Supreme, who is supposed to be this ancient warrior who has been around since the early days of Cybertron, and you know, at the point where you get to know him, he's kind of a war-torn veteran. He would really benefit from that kind of detailing, and we got none of that. We got a little bit of you know, some dark airbrushing around the bloosh points. You know, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and it was Dawn who even noticed that. I couldn't even, I didn't even realize that they had done that because it was so subtle. I just didn't notice. Now that being said, he is beautifully detailed. The mold on this is fantastic. He is posable. He is big. This scratches the Gen 1 Transformer itch. When you have this in your hands, suddenly, okay, you still want the Gen 1. I mean, admittedly, we all still want the Gen 1 version because it was amazing. But this is pretty good. This is pretty awesome. So, you know, I got this. Let me take Devastator off of the table so that I can transform him. Devastator, here, keep Metroplex company. He's feeling a little bit sad. There we go. Okay, so some very unique transformation features in Omega Supreme. So they have the track, of course, and they might have phoned in the track just a little. It's actually, even though the figure towers over the original Gen 1 version, when you transform him, he's he's much taller, but he takes up about the same amount of table space. Maybe that's a good thing, because you don't want him to be, taking up more table space. But having to redesign the hips. Okay, so Matt White is just saying how it got delayed for several months because they had to redesign the hips. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'll have to look up pictures on the old hips. I didn't know that. So, thank you for the education, Matt White. So these are your track pieces. It's an elevated track, which is very cool. So we'll take those, and then this is really interesting and unique. The way that the arms come out. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how the arms come out. Let's see. We have these. We have. Oh wait. Got it. Okay, so the arms are all one piece. I know, right? All one piece? That's crazy, Omega Supreme. Your whole thing is that your arms pop off. Now his arms and shoulders are all the Rocket. So that is pretty darn cool. Let's see. So, oh wait, we have the box from this version, so we can look. I'm looking at the hip design. Maybe. There's. Okay, so from this angle, I'm having a hard time seeing what's. Oh yeah, I guess I can see a little bit of difference. Yeah. I don't know why they changed that. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've got a lot of Transformers around me at this point. So this, okay, and now I have to say, the Rocket is pretty badass. So you open these things up, and you spread out the claws, and we've got our little Minicon guy that comes with him. And then this part, this does a little bit of a thing here where it's just going to kind of fold this way and then close around and create a cylinder, and then these close around there, and that closes around there. And then that slides back, and this will close around there. Maybe, wait here. Let's, I have to have this rotated a certain way. I think that's, maybe. Are we there yet? Not far now. Oh, I don't know which way. There we go. Okay, so. And look at that. This is no longer a toy. This is a home defense system. Okay? Because you hear somebody in the night and they're trying to steal your VCR. I know nobody has a VCR, but you know, I'm old. you come around the corner wielding this, okay? They think that you're batshit crazy and they are getting out of your house. So that's important. Yeah, this rocket is yeah, this is like about 2 feet tall. That's insane. But, you know, but it's great for... And, oh, wait, bloosh parts. So, you know, you definitely want to have the bloosh here. Or I guess it would be bloosh. So that's how that would work. You know, you could of course, you know, bloosh out the front. I didn't come up with bloosh, okay? I'm not claiming to have come up with bloosh, but I'm kind of going with it. I forget the name of the guy who does bloosh, so to the guy who does bloosh, I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm sorry. Anyway, so you get the rocket, and then we have Omega here, and you open the front here, and then we have, let's see, this I think just pulls right out of the front. Yeah, there we go. So there, that pulls out just like that, and then we're gonna, yeah, we flip it. I really, honestly, I tend to want to have this out all the time anyway. Because, I mean, it's Omega Supreme. He has a cannon on the back of his head. He doesn't want to hide it. He's got a cannon on the back of his head. You know, I mean, I got a hat. He's got a cannon. Yeah, I don't take off the hat. And, yeah, it's a feature, not a bug. So, thank you. So, this rotates around. This does some unique little moves. We open up the door here. And then, so, there's a lot of hollowness inside here. You see this compartment, and it's got this roller thingy here, and there's even like these little open places. I have a suspicion that the original intent was for this to be motorized. This looks suspiciously like the place that would house an on-off switch, and obviously it's not motorized. I wonder if maybe the Japanese version is or something like that. You know, you get that a lot. But at some point, I'd kind of like to kit bash this guy and motorize the tank. That is one of several things that I'd like to do to him, because I like him, but I feel like the design is only like 90% of the way there. So anyway, you rotate and see the actual tank cannon is here, and you look at that and it's like, okay, maybe that's why he wants to hide this one. But so you rotate that around, and then you can close this, and then this does it does a thing here. I'm going to try and get this right. And these I think go... Oh wait, these bend, and then they get tucked down into the side here, and then they kind of just plug in like that, and then you have this happening, and let's see, that does something. I don't think I was supposed to close this yet. Okay, so there, that goes like that, and then that I think goes like that maybe, and And then, oh, wait, here. Duh. You don't have the face sticking out the back. I'm not used to an Omega Supreme whose face doesn't stick out the back. So, there we go. Alright, and so now you have the tank. And the tank does look very cool. And it also has, it has these guns here, which you can have the effects parts and do that. And, you can do, like a three-way bloosh, which, okay, and that looks badass. Look at that. Let's face it. That's a poster right there. Okay? That belongs on some teenager's wall right there. So that's cool. What my biggest criticism though is that because the head has its neck joint here, right in here, and then this turret has a joint right there, the turret doesn't rotate. You can't pivot the turret, and come on. I feel like you could have come up with a better solution to this tank without making a turret that doesn't move. I mean, let me show you something. This is Defender. He is a GoBot. Okay, he is a super GoBot, although one of the smaller scale ones, so he's closer in scale to the original, but he's built very husky. And let me show you his transform. You knew we couldn't get through this live stream without talking about GoBots, right? So you take the head and you just tuck it down like this, and then you rotate this piece around, and then you open up his body, just like this. There. Okay, so you open up his body like that, collapse the arms, and fold them in. Collapse the legs, and then fold his feet in, and then they swing around, and okay. Now, look at that. Okay, his head is in there, and yet they still made a tank with a rotating turret, and the gun goes up and down. So, hey Hasbro, Defensor was able to do it 35 years ago. Do you think on your Titan class Omega Supreme you could have figured out a better way to make the tank's turret so that it actually rotated? Come on. Don't phone this stuff in. So, yeah, that was a definite disappointment with the tank. It looks great, it's big, it's badass. It also has this door here in the front. There you go, like that, and it opens, and then you can take the little Minicon dude who's like a moon buggy, and you can have him parked inside, and then he'll eject himself and die on the keyboard. And so, but still, I mean, it's like it's so close, but no motor, and I guess that's okay, but also no turret. And look at this roller. It even looks like it was designed to hold O-rings. So, yeah, I feel like there was, Hasbro does need to hire me. Thank you. I'll tell you what, Hasbro, if you're thinking about it, a little ringy dingy. So, let's set this aside for a moment, and we've still got the rest of Omega Supreme. I'm going to try and transform this in a fashion that doesn't take forever. and it's probably not going to work, but we're going to try anyway. So so we got compartments. Yeah, we do have compartments, and I love compartments. And I'm trying to remember what you did with this. Oh, okay, I remember. Here we go. So we pivot at the waist. We pivot at the knees. He does the splits. You know, a little bit of Staying Alive, doing the splits now. Actually, no, Living in America. Yes, Neil Diamond. He's doing the splits like Neil Diamond. And then, I know you kids don't remember who Neil Diamond is. Young'uns. And then we attach the track. There we go. And we attach the other piece of track. And then I'm going to set him on the table. The camera's never going to be able to get him in view, but you know, and then you kind of, let's go to the other cam. Yeah, that's okay. So there we go. That's the base mode, and then we'll just add the rocket. The rocket's running into the TV that's mounted on the wall, and then we'll add the tank. And wow, yeah, I know you can't see any of that. There's the tank, and I wonder if maybe the reason that they didn't motorize it is because actually the tank runs into the corner of the tower here. But yeah, we got the whole thing. That is his alt mode. And I'll turn it back into the regular cam. So this is, I don't even know how to show this. I guess I didn't think this live stream out very well because, okay, wait here, I've got an idea, and I apologize for those who are sensitive to like motion sickness. Let's just take this cam, and so there he is. We'll turn this back around. That is Omega Supreme, and it is an impressive display. There's no doubt this is really, really something special. But notice that the tank runs into the corner of the tower here. If it were motorized, I wonder if it would be able to get around, because it seems like it wants to catch. And then, of course, you have the giant rocket here. So, you know, and so, yeah, that is Omega Supreme in his alt mode, and it really is just a kind of a sight to behold. Yeah. And in his vehicle mode, you know, the tank just seems like it would roll over Decepticons, and so, yeah, that is Titan class Omega Supreme in all his glory. I would like to do a little bit of kit bashing, add motor to the tank, add, you know, it wouldn't be bad for maybe some LEDs here and there, and definitely figure out some way to make that turret able to rotate. It has to happen. So, yeah, if you can get a knockoff version of him, well worth it. Although, you know, the Hasbro price for him is really pretty good. It's not like a lot of those third-party ones where, you know, the guys are like $400 and $500, which, let me tell you, if I had the budget, I would absolutely be getting some of those things because they are beautiful. I mean, they are just beautiful. The sculpts, the engineering, the detail, the paint deco. You know, there's some really fantastic stuff out there. And if you have the budget for it, I highly recommend picking up some of those third-party ones, even though they are pricey. And, you know, at some point, I hope to be in a financial position to be able to add those to my collection. But, you know, when one of those figures costs as much as I'll spend in like a year on Transformers, you know, it's just it's hard to justify it. You know, at least, you know, right now. So, I think that's it. I think that we have beaten Omega Supreme to death here. But yeah, he is, you know, Omega is probably one of the oldest and most sought after characters in the Transformers universe. I'm so glad that we've gotten the Titan version of him. You know, it's nice to see him reimagined in such a fantastic way. But how about a reissue? Come on, reissue. So, with that being the case, I think that I am going to sign off. Once again, thank you to everyone who logged in tonight. I really appreciate you guys joining me while I yammer on about my toy collection. It's, you know, it's something that I'm passionate about, and I really enjoy, and I appreciate that you guys are willing to come along on the ride with me. It's a good time to do this stuff. You know, I hope that everybody's staying in, staying safe, and you know, I'm just going to throw out tomorrow, amongst my other plans, I'm going to be calling my Aunt Sherry and maybe my Aunt Greta too, and, you know, maybe my mom. You know, if there's people in your life that you're not getting to see, especially people that are in that higher risk category, then, you know, maybe send them a card, give them a call, you know, reach out. When I was shopping today, everybody's wearing masks and everybody's, you know, staying apart, and you can't smile at people. You know, you can't, and it feels kind of mistrustful because, you know, nobody knows who's sick. So, thank you, thank you, Grayscale. So, you know, this is a time when we kind of need to go the extra mile to show our humanity, and also not be dumbasses. So that's the more you know. Oh wait, so now you know. Please say it. No, okay. And somebody in the chat say it. So now you know. No, nobody's going to say it. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe! Yo, Joe! This is Clay Carlino telling you to be brave. And yes, I'm going to leave the microphone on because I think that if I turn it off, YouTube's going to cut my video off like 2 minutes before I end the live stream. So we're going to go to the end screen now, and we're still going to have audio. Thank you, everyone, for signing on. And, YouTube stuff, please, if you haven't already, and you want to see more of this stuff, like, subscribe, click the notification icon, and leave comments, because I try to always respond to comments. So you know, I will respond to you, and hopefully you join me again like next week, if we do one of these next week, which we probably will. So have a wonderful night. Be brave. And we're going to leave it running for just a little while, because if we don't, YouTube's going to cut off the ending. Got some groovin' jazz, and we can turn it up. Hey, is that Freedom Rock, man? Yeah, man. We'll turn it up, man. Grayscale, we will take care, and you too. Thank you so much for sticking with us this whole 2 hours. Monica's doing the robot. I really wish I had one of my cameras on her right now. Bye, Nora. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us. We were so glad that you could be here. M4 Zinfer, thank you for coming. Grayscale, thank you for coming. Jason, have a good night. Yes, I'm reading the comments and saying goodnight to the people whose names I see pop up. I don't know how long we have to keep this up. Yeah, they ended up kind of beating themselves to death, but the Freedom Rock commercials were great. You and me, Grayscale. Everyone else is a bunch of whippersnappers. Get off of my lawn!